working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. Now, from Kern Golden Empire Television, 17 News at 5.
It is beyond me how in the year 2000 people can still have so much hate and racism and try to rob people from the right of just living, going to church, working.
A day without an immigrant. Thousands gathering in downtown Bakersfield in support of an economic boycott against immigration reform. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here at 5. The immigration boycott tops our newscast at this hour. It is, well, they've been gathering since this morning, and at this hour, thousands of people are still at Beach Park for an immigration rally.
The rally is one of hundreds being held across the country as part of a national day of action. 17's Kiyoshi Tomono is joining us now live from Beach Park with the latest. Kiyoshi.
Yeah, you know, Robin, as you can see right here behind me, the protest continues and is still going strong here. The chants of Si Se Puede continuing here in Beach Park in central Bakersfield, as they have for most of the day. Our team coverage on all of these protests starts with 17's Clint Olivier right now, who has more on this part of the story.
It's part political rally, part protest, and part folk music concert. It's Bakersfield's version of the Great American Boycott, or A Day Without Immigrants.
We're here for a reason. The reason is that opportunity, what our great country offers us.
Veronica Carbajal is one of the several thousand people who came to Beach Park beginning around 9 this morning. In keeping with the theme of the event, Veronica took the day off from her job as a teacher at Sequoia Middle School. Immigration is an important issue to Veronica, even though her family's been here a while.
I'm a fifth-generation American, and if it wasn't 5 generations ago that my ancestors would have come over to the United States, and I wouldn't have had the same opportunity that I have and my children and my future generations have.
Bakersfield's event goes along with hundreds of similar rallies in cities across the U.S. Immigrant workers and those who support them were asked by organizers not to show up for work and instead attend a rally. In addition, these protesters say they're not doing any buying or selling in stores. Armando Elenis is one of the organizers.
But everybody has an opportunity to participate and show their support in whatever special way they feel it's appropriate.
The flags of both the U.S. and Mexico waved together, but despite the display of unity, the immigration issue is becoming increasingly about race. Lupe Cortez is a naturalized American citizen, but says race is the reason the government and President Bush are singling out illegal immigrants from Mexico.
We have 1.5 million Russian over here in the United States, illegal aliens. A lot of from Korea, a lot of from China, and now he taking race only hit to the Mexicans. He don't say anything to the other people.
And Luz Areola agrees.
It is beyond me how in the year 2000 people can still have so much hate and racism and try to rob people from the right of just living, going to church, working.
Meanwhile, Veronica Carbajal believes her time at Beach Park was time well spent, and it's back to work tomorrow to teach the diverse group of kids she loves.
We have all nationalities, some students that can barely even pronounce our salute to our flag, and they do it with such pride and respect that how could I not be here today?
At Beach Park, Clint Olivier, 17 News.
And back out here live, you can hear the protest continues. It's a very emotional cause on both sides of this debate, but one of the questions is whether or not these boycotts actually hurt or help the protesters' cause. There's a lot of debate about that. The protesters say it brings the community together like this, but others say they're not so sure.
Emma Mohara's solitary voice was no match for the hundreds of chanting protesters along Oak Street. But her signs conveyed her side of the story.
These are our rules in our country, and they need to respect that. If they don't like it, they can leave.
Protesters we talked to had a different take.
People just want to be equal. People just want to be equal, treated right, not a second class.
Are willing to do labor that no one else will do, at wages no one else will accept.
Is America ready to pay $4 for tomatoes? Are we ready?
But by waving Mexican flags and pushing amnesty for undocumented workers, some wonder if these protesters are drumming discontent instead of support.
They're here illegal.
The Bill of Rights, the Constitution, doesn't even apply to them. They should be arrested and deported.
Andrea Vargas seeks greater leniency in the form of amnesty.
People are driving the tractors out on the field. If you guys don't like it, try it yourselves.
And she says undocumented workers aren't criminals.
We're not terrorists. We just want to work hard to get better where we are.
You can say that. You're in America. See, that's the beauty of America.
Which brings us back to Emma Mohara, who hit the streets with her 2 signs to protest the protesters. She backs a guest worker program.
If they want better, they should come here X amount of time, be given an X amount of time, and go back. You know, if you're not an American, try to learn English, learn the language, try to go with our rules. I mean, come on, we have the amendments for that.
And back out here live, of course, as this legislation continues to wind its way through Washington, D.C., of course, more protests ahead. The folks out here saying, of course, si se puede, yes, you can, and also saying we are going to continue to fight. Reporting live tonight from Beach Park in central Bakersfield, Kiyoshi Tomono, 17 News. Let's send back to you guys.
All right, Kiyoshi, thank you. The rally at Beach Park has caused major traffic problems in the area all day long. A portion of Oak Street is closed, and many participants have parked in the surrounding neighborhoods in the Westchester area, turning that neighborhood into a virtual parking lot. 17's Maya Sanchez joining us live from that area of Bakersfield with more tonight.
Hello, people are just now getting off work and coming home, and they're actually coming through this area. And if you take a look behind me, you can see there are still hundreds of people out here, still many people out here. Others will be driving in this area, which is very, very congested. Now, this rally at Beach Park has drawn thousands of people, many of them who came first to use the parking spaces here at Beach Park, but then they went into the nearby neighborhood in central Bakersfield, and that's where they began lining up their cars up and down the street. Parts of the street in that area are now blocked off. These streets are lined with cars, which is likely posing an inconvenience for residents, many of whom do not have driveways and must park on the street. Now let's tell you about some of the street closures. The left turn lane from Buck Owens Boulevard onto 24th is blocked off. Oak Street between 21st and 24th Streets is closed in both directions. 21st between Elm and Oak is also closed. Now, the CHP expects these closures to remain in place at least until 6 p.m., possibly through 7 o'clock tonight. They also expect Highway 99 in this area to be congested. Now, the CHP is urging everyone to stay away from this area unless you have to come through here. It will be very congested. Keep that in mind. We're live at Beach Park. Maya Sanchez, 17 News.
Not all Latinos skipped work today, and not all Latino-owned businesses closed to honor the boycott. Melissa Gonzalo went to find out why and joins us now with the other side of the story.
Robin, what we generally found was that businesses like Mercado Latino, Ranch Market, and Vallarta Market with mainly Latino clientele were closed today. But major Mexican restaurant chains with mostly Anglo customers were still open for business. Mexicali, La Mina, Don Pericos, and Que Pasa, some of the more popular Mexican food restaurants around the county, all owned by Latinos who decided to stay open today. Or in La Mina's case, at least partially. Owner Arturo Ruiz didn't want to speak on camera, but told me he left only 2 of his 8 restaurants open. And that was mainly because the competition decided to open their doors. He says his restaurants, like other Mexican restaurants, received some threatening calls from customers, so decided to stay open for fear of a backlash. He says he still supports the cause 100% and will not punish those who didn't show up to work. In fact, he was operating with only 1 cook today and a cashier having to pick up tables himself, leaving a note for customers on the door apologizing for any delays due to circumstances beyond his control. At Don Pericos on White Lane, workers didn't want to appear on camera but asked who was going to pay their bills if they didn't show up. Only 2 were missing and it was business as usual. Que Pasa at the marketplace was also functioning with a very limited staff. In fact, the manager told me 80% of employees didn't show up for work, but says they were given the option to protest and will not face consequences. He added that Latino businesses need to be conscious of both sides and support both the employees and the customers. Others, like Ramona Morales, who waits tables at Mexicali in downtown Bakersfield, says she supports the boycott and wore white in solidarity, but still went to work.
People that have permission from their jobs are not there, good for them. But, when you have to come to work and you have your family to support, well, you have to do what you got to do.
Ramona, like many others who went to work today, said they were still going to partake in events taking place this evening after they got out of work, like the vigil at 6 o'clock. Jim?